Okay, well here it is. There's Kazar number 2. Anderson again. Bern Anderson is on the arts today. And it's pretty cool. Look at that. Pterodactyl guys. Like circle of them. And it's kind of like a deal. And there's Shanna down there and Zabu. It's neat. He's grabbing that one by the throat. Good old Kazar. Alright, here we go. Kazar, in our last issue, Kazar's done. He left the town with Leanne, and he's contemplating all this stuff, and it's saying that Leanne said, "Oh, I love you, Kazar," and then he's like, and then I believed her, and what a lie, and I believed them all. So then he's looking at it and he's thinking, man, what a crummy thing. I'm glad I'm leaving this stupid land, going back to the savage land. And he's like, all right, let's climb up. He's climbing up and he's like, oh, what the heck's this little shadow right here? He's like, see, what's that? And then he gets closer and he still doesn't know. And she slips and falls, and she's like, I love you, and you know he takes the brunt of the fall because you know he's protecting her, and Kazar's thinking, oh, she said I loved you, the last words Leanne said to me. And it'd probably hurt her last words too, because you know it was a dire straight situation. He didn't. So it's like some futuristic machine, kind of like the art right here is. It kind of looks kind of Kirby-ish, kind of the art and the lines and the nose and the shadows and stuff. I really do dig the art here. And it's neat seeing the ads too, the old style ads. You know, it's a 40-something-year-old comic book. He wakes up. He's waking up, sir. He's like the little king guy of the air wing people, and there's Shanna, because he took the brunt of the fall. She was okay, so she wasn't hurt in the fall. And here's the air guy king. He's telling him about his land and you know how they know about the Leanne and all the people and stuff. And sorry, I had to get a drink. And you know he's telling about all the people and there's this tiger. Zabu showed up and they're like, oh man, he's so here comes this dude and he's like, oh. Oh, he ran in and said, "Hey there." So that dude was like, "Hey, they grabbed this dude, this Sep guy or something. I think it was Sep." And he falls and you know Kazar gets his sling and he's like, "I teach this silly bird," and the bird falls. I mean the pterodactyl thing falls. And you know they're okay and he's like, oh, they took Leanne, like the pterodactyl people took Leanne. And Leanne's kingdom and their kingdom are friends, so they're like, man, we have to help. Excuse me, we have to help save Leanne from the pterodactyl people. And then Kazar's kind of contemplated about it. He's like, Leanne, I just got, I was leaving, but he's like, I still kind of love her and stuff. He's kind of in the shadows, and he's like, I still kind of love her, and I don't want Shanna to, he hasn't told Shanna anything about his with Leanne, so he's kind of hiding in the shadows, and it's kind of deep meaning there. But he there, well, we gotta, who's, she's totally clueless about it, we gotta help her, and then they leave to go help her, and he's thinking about all the stuff that him and Leanne did. I shouldn't have. I'm always moving this sucker. They see one of those pterodactyl things. Kazar, it's like, I'm gonna catch it or whatever, fight it, because and he gets it in their war party or something. He put, they're fighting the things, and then because the pterodactyl people are made out to be the bad guy, because they're the evil people in this comic. And so that, what you think? So they camp out, and they're like, hey, tomorrow we're gonna do this stuff. But at night when they're camping, he's like, hey, there's this plan. Take this bomb here, down here. You're telling him. Sep knows, because that's Sep. He's with him, and he knows the plan of the bomb because Sep's with him. So later on, they sneak in because they're the start of it. So they sneak in to plant the bomb, and Kazar's supposed to save whatchamacallit, Leanne. Oh, did I must have skipped? No, okay. So now she's with the bird people, and could they captured her, is what you think, and when you're reading the comic, but that's not necessarily true. He said, take your queen to the chambers, And Kazar's like, hey, we gotta save, and so one has to set the bomb, one has to save it, because they don't have enough time. So Shanna goes to set the bomb. Kazar crawls to the thing, ties the lasso rope, and swings into the chamber. Not Shanna, but Leanne's chamber, the queen's chamber where they took her. They start talking, and she's like, what are you doing here, Kazar? You're gonna ruin everything. She said, what are you doing? You're gonna ruin everything, Kazar. So he's like, what? And so you gotta hide, get back. And so here comes Sep, that was part of the bird people. And Kazar's like really confused. He's like, what the heck's going on, Sep? Why are you here? And they're like, well, Leanne tells him. He overheard Kazar, they're like, they love each other. So later on, she's like, I'm just using Sep. So Leanne's just a man user. She just uses all the men to do her bidding. And she's like, I'm just using Sep, just like I was using you. And Shanna comes back after planting the bomb and kind of overhears this conversation. And Kazar's like, well, he just kind of really doesn't get it because he's kind of a savage. And he's like, well, I said you love me, and and you said it back, and but he doesn't really understand that Leanne was just using Kazar to get her saber-toothed tiger back that day. And then Kazar's like, he's contemplating all this crap that he just heard, and he's kind of getting it. And then bam, he hears the noise, and he turns around, and it's the pterodactyl guys. And he just grabs two of them and does his little Kazar savage fighting them. Battle pursues, because that's when the bomb comes out and the other wing people come, because they heard the bomb and Sep's with them. And the thing is, Sep paid the dang lizard people to kidnap Leanne, because she just wanted to get away from being a princess. Anyways, Kazar's fighting the pterodactyl dudes, and even Zabu shows up and to eat one. Shanna jumps on one and fights him, and then just about then, the bomb, boom, 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 back. There's a cave in. He's like, get out of the way, girls. It's gonna crash. There's a cave in. He wakes up, and he's like, oh crap! There's only time to save one. The rocks are gonna fall. They're both are slipping at the exact same time. The ledge is given away at the same time because it couldn't hold both the weight of them and so he can only jump to the end to save one, and we don't know which one he's saved because it's brilliant, it's blacked out, so you don't know until you get to the next page. And then it's Shanna. She's like, oh, you saved me, Kazar. I love you. You saved me, and he's like, I love you too, and all this junk's going on. But at the end of the comic, he's like, we didn't see any signs of Leanne, and then he's like, no, I don't think we ever will. At the end of the comic, this photo of Shanna is like, oh man, she's contemplating what she heard back in the chambers of him saying that she loved him and stuff. So she has that in her mind, that he can just easily just not love me and just be in love with somebody else. So it's a pretty wild comic, to be honest with you. All that stuff happened in Kazar #2.